So we may have just gotten a really good idea of exactly when the next Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighters Pass DLC character might be revealed to us. But before I talk about that, I just want to talk about a couple of things I mentioned in my last video. I just want to make a few corrections. Over on my Discord, McMahonGuy wrote some corrections for Papa's latest video. Number 1, the camera angle theory was found out to be doable in replay mode. The icons and percentage stays while adjusting the camera for a picture, even when you hide the replay control UI. That plus the fact that Mii Brawler breaks the character limit in normal play shows that the video leak was a replay. Okay, so what McMahonGuy is talking about here is how in my last video I was talking about how the Mii costume leak, the one with the video leak of both Malo and Cacodemon Mii costumes, the image that was associated with that, the first thing that came up for that leak was just this image here. It's actually undoable to get that camera angle when you just like pause the game. However, we found out that in replay mode, you actually can recreate that camera angle, confirming that this was all done in a replay. Very similarly, the Ken image leak from back before the base game came out and before we knew about Ken also had a really strange camera angle to it. So that's why people were thinking that this might all have been done in a dev mode, but we found out it was done as a replay, or at least it's recreatable as a replay. So it doesn't really confirm things one way or the other, whether or not the Mii costume leak is real or fake. We've just confirmed that it was actually done as a replay. Now, before I move on past the subject of the Malo and Cacodemon potential Mii costume leak we have here, I just want to talk about this image that's popped up recently. It looks to be the Cacodemon Mii costume, however the Mii face is just kind of crying laughing, which is sort of like that crying laughing emoji. Once again, just like the Cacodemon Mii costume hat that we had as a recreation, this one could also be a recreation. Looking at it, certain things about the gape of the mouth and some of the rows of teeth seem slightly different than what we have in the actual Mii costume leak, so I think this one's probably just another recreation. Another thing to note on this one is that you can't actually see the list of names of the Mii hats, which makes me believe that this is probably just a mod. Whether or not it's from the same person who potentially faked the Mii costume leak, or if the Mii costume leak is real and this is just a recreation, I don't know. Personally, I'm leaning towards this one just being another recreation though. I'm still pretty much dreaming about the idea of getting Guy and Geno together in some trailer. It would just be really cool. These Mii costumes have made me kind of think of the two characters as, you know, showing up alongside each other, and I saw a really interesting post for how that might happen. Over on my Discord, ZT wrote, gameplay of new Doom title. Picks up a Geno doll. That would be such a cool way to reveal Geno and Guy together, as in Doomslayer's game. He actually picks up a little Doom doll there, so it would be really cool to replace that with a Geno doll and reveal them both at the same time. With Sabi's source saying that the 5th DLC Fighters Pass character that they've heard is not related to the Mii costume leak, again, if it's real, I'm not really counting on Guy and Geno showing up anytime soon. As far as whether or not the Malo Mii hat and Cacodemon Mii hat Mii costume leak is a legitimate leak or just someone messing around with us, I'm honestly still inconclusive about it. I don't know yet, so we'll just have to wait and see if any more information pops up about that one. It's something to keep on your radar, though. Okay, moving on to McMahonguy's next point. He says, number 2, the Ice Climber's solo slots being removed was deconfirmed. The modder just did that himself with mods he had loaded that replaced those spots. The thing about the Ice Climbers clashing with Terry's side B is true. I'm not sure if that means what people think it does, but it might. Okay, so what McMahonGuy is talking about here is last video I was talking about this post, which was mentioning how Solo Nana and Solo Popo were removed in 6.0.0. That turns out to be incorrect. That was actually just something that was happening with a mod for Smash and not actually in the 6.0.0 update. Now, in my last video, I said I was no expert on data mine type info like that, and that this was just what I heard people talking about, and I really just wanted to speculate about a potential duo character, which was what people were saying this might point to. Well, that no longer seems to be the case, as the whole idea of something going on with the Ice Climbers in the latest update is just totally wrong. Now, something was going on with Terry's Buster Wolf and Ice Climbers. However, it was also going on with apparently every other character in the game. So once again, I don't think any of this points to a duo character, as nothing special was actually happening with the Ice Climbers specifically. So while the idea of getting a duo fighter is totally plausible, there's really nothing substantial actually pointing to that, so yeah, that's totally debunked. Okay, so now that all the stuff from my last video is out of the way, let's talk about something really interesting that happened today. Over on Twitter, at The Game Awards wrote, "Anyone remember when Joker infiltrated the theater last year? And then played a short video of when Joker was announced. If you don't remember, the Game Awards happened on December 6th last year, and Smash Bros. Ultimate was released on December 7th. So literally this happened when people were in line waiting to get Smash at the midnight releases. So Joker was basically announced right alongside the release of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So the very interesting implication of the Game Awards tweeting this out around this time of the year is that potentially we could get another character reveal at the Game Awards. This is something I think everybody has been speculating about basically all year, that the final Fighters Pass DLC character might get announced at the Game Awards, but this is the first time we have something concrete and substantial to point to that makes that look like it might be the case. So like I said, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate was released on December 7th, 2018, and the Game Awards this year are actually on Thursday, December 12th, 2019. So while it's not exactly the one-year anniversary of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, it's pretty close, and it would be a great time to announce the final DLC character for the Fighters Pass. So nothing conclusive here because of this tweet, but since the Game Awards was basically already my guess for when we'd get the final character reveal, it's looking all the more likely now. Vergebens wrote something recently, and a lot of people have latched onto it as potentially pointing to what character we could get as the final DLC Fighter Pass character. Over on Game FAQs, a thread was made that says, "You guys should play the Tales series." And Vergebens actually wrote something there. It says this, Slime posted, "I've played a lot of them. Some of them are great, some are average, and some are terrible." Vergebens wrote, "It's the type of series where you can only recommend certain games, but not all, ... or even most of them." So I've seen a lot of people online look at this and think just because Vergebens talking about the Tales of series, it might mean that, like, Lloyd potentially is our final Fighters Pass DLC character here. Personally, I'm not really buying that. I think Vergebens is literally just giving his opinion of the Tales of series. It's probably not a hint towards a character, though Lloyd is still very, very likely. A little while back, we had a trademark filed by Bandai Namco for the Tales of series title and for this strange logo, and they still haven't been used yet. Potentially, they could be used for Smash. Also, we haven't seen any of the Bandai Namco Mii costumes show up in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, whereas there were several from Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, including Heihachi and Lloyd, both of which are potential characters to get upgraded into playable characters and could potentially be our 5th DLC Fighters Pass character here. Another potential Bandai Namco rep could be Cosmos. We actually had a potential leak with Cosmos on it that still hasn't been debunked. Back on June 2nd, there was a 4chan post with this picture of a cat. It correctly predicted a lot of things, including Banjo's codename being Buddy and how the Dragon Quest Hero character would work, even calling him Hero. This post essentially got overlooked when it happened, but afterwards people looked back at it and pretty much confirmed that it was likely a legitimate leak. After people had noticed this one, another post showed up with the same cat image, and this one was claiming that Cosmos would be the 5th DLC Fighter Pass character, and that Reimu and Ryo Hayabusa were going to happen later down the line. Because it had the same cat image, it's possible it could be from the same person. Of course, it also could have just been from someone who knew about the old June 2nd post and decided to piggyback on it, make their post seem more legitimate by using that same image. The June 2nd post had been featured in one of my own videos a week before the new 4chan post about Cosmos. So there you go. I don't have a ton of faith in that being the same poster who originally talked about Hero and Banjo having the codename Buddy, but it could be. And I definitely do think a Bandai Namco character is pretty likely for the 5th DLC spot. I don't know for sure, but I think they have a pretty good shot. Okay, so that's everything I wanted to talk about in this video. So what do you guys think? Do you think that Video Game Awards tweet has anything to do with getting a character reveal again this year? Personally, if I had to bet, I think that's the most likely time we'll see the next character reveal. If you guys have any thoughts or comments about any of the stuff I talked about in this video, leave them below. So once again, thank you guys for all the subscribes, all the likes. It really helps out the channel. So if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do so, or like the video, or leave a comment, whatever you want. Until next time, have a good one.